My Wi-Fi ran out. I really think if I took one voice lesson, I could win American Idol. We have Jason Earls coming out on a podcast that he lied about his age to book a role on Hannah Montana. We will be talking about the Taylor Frankie Paul insane fight video from 2023 that led to her being convicted of aggravated assault. We have Piers Morgan walking off of his own show after talking with celebrity influencer HS TikTok, and we will be chatting it up with celebrity choreographer and internet famous dancer Molly Long. Hold on to your hats, buckle your seatbelt, because we have all the hottest stories all in one place. TMZ obtained video from the fight between Taylor Frankie Paul and her baby dad, Dakota Mortensen, in 2023, which she pled guilty to aggravated assault. And the video shows that one of her children was struck during this fight. So we obtained this video, a copy of which was actually evidence in the case, and it is extremely hard to watch. Viewer discretion is absolutely advised.
Look. Yeah, look. This is called physical abuse.
Oh my gosh. Oh my. You're unbelievable. No.
The police report says that the 5-year-old girl was hit and later had like a goose egg on her head. During the fight, Taylor does yell, "You threw me," a few times, and she later claims to police that Dakota had thrown her to the ground prior to what is seen on that cell phone footage. Let's catch up with Alexa to get all the details you need to know. Hey, Alexa.
Hey.
I wish we were here on better circumstances.
I know, this video is
So
pretty
hard to
shocking.
watch. Did a rep come out about this video and kind of give us a statement about that?
Yes.
Because this is
so
just this is just crazy footage.
They say, "It is sad to see the latest installment of his never endearing, his being Dakota, desperate attention-seeking destructive campaign to harm Taylor without any regard for the consequences of their child." So they're claiming that this is, a selectively edited video. They're saying that it's released on their son's birthday. Today's Ever's birthday. And so they're saying that's deliberate. Of course, those are just claims coming from Taylor's side, but...
Wow. Was the footage, this video from 2023, was this the fight that led to them both needing a psychiatric evaluation?
Great question. So actually, no.
Wow.
The psych evaluation is for the most recent incident that made season 5 completely shut down.
Okay.
That story that we broke is a completely different incident than this video from 2023.
So they've just been in this toxic, kind of volatile relationship for a while.
For sure. Yeah, it definitely, gives us a little bit of glimpse of what happens behind closed doors. We should note that in the 2023 incident, Taylor was, drinking. The claim was that she, had substances in her system. She's now saying that she is fully sober, so it's unclear as exactly what her behavior was at this most recent incident, but it's definitely shocking to see on both ends.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you so much for giving us all the details. I know you've been working really hard on this story, and it is just insane stuff.
Yeah, definitely devastating. All we want is the best for both
Absolutely.
Taylor, Dakota, and their children.
And their kids. Well, thank you so much, Alexa. We'll catch up with you in a little bit.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Jason Earls, better known as Jackson from Hannah Montana, is on this new podcast called Best of Both Our Worlds. It's almost an hour-long podcast. He is telling lots of behind-the-scenes stories about Hannah Montana production. As you know, it is coming up on the 20th anniversary, Hannah Montana. They are doing an anniversary special. Miley Cyrus is set to be in it. We've seen some teaser photos from that. But basically, if you didn't know, Jason Earls plays Miley Stewart's brother in the show, and he's supposed to be like 18. He's like the wacky older brother. He admits that he lied about his age during casting, and he was actually 28 years old and married, but told casting he was 18. And apparently this is not the first time he had lied. The casting director came up to him and was like, "Hey, I know you told me you were 19, but for the sake of this, can you just say you're 18, only a year younger?" And he had lied about his age before, to the point that he had to double down and layer a lie on top of a lie. The footage is hilarious. Hannah Montana is one of the greatest shows from the Gen Z childhood era. So I thought, who better to talk to than my best Gen Z friend, Aiden? Welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you?
Well, I'm really excited to be chatting with you. First of all, Hannah Montana was like the it show, I feel like, for us growing up.
Beyond.
Were you like a big Hannah Montana fan?
I was the biggest. I wanted to buy a wig because maybe this was like my drag, like what do you call it, awakening. But I wanted
I'm
to.
crying.
I told my mom I wanted to buy a wig because I told her I was like, I want to be able to change my identity. Like if I buy a wig, will it be like Hannah? She told me,
Yes.
she's like, baby, I hate to break it to you. Like they would still know it's you. I'm like,
Yeah. Well, I went through a similar revelation. We had like Libby Lou's, the makeover place in like my mall as a kid where you could just like get a makeover as whoever you wanted.
Oh my
And
God.
I got a Hannah Montana makeover to go to the hospital to meet my newborn brother. And so there's a photo of me in like the bleach
Wait.
blonde wig, sequin shirt, holding like this 3-hour-old infant baby boy. Nonetheless, Hannah Montana, iconic show, making a comeback.
Iconic.
I don't know if you saw this clip, but Jason Earls was in fact 28 years old and married, playing
Girl.
an 18-year-old on TV.
Girl, first of all, how was he 28 during that?
That's what I'm saying. If you're able to be like believed to be 18 years old, what is your skincare
Girl.
routine? Like, how are you getting away with that lie?
Like, oh my God, like what are you, like who, like how many chickens are you sacrificing? Like what is
That's what
going
I'm saying.
on?
I'm
Like,
crying.
no, it's crazy. Because he did not
He
like,
did not look
28, it's like not like it's like not old, but it's like he didn't look
It's
he
not
didn't
like
look
he's, like,
28 compared
20.
to 18. Like
Exactly.
very different.
But
like,
he also said that this wasn't the first time he's lied about his age, but I feel like
oh,
I personally believe that it was worth it. I cannot imagine any other actor in this role, and nobody else would have been as like crazy of a character as he was. So I
1000%.
do think it was hashtag worth it.
Did you see what they said when he said that he like went to go for like he like, kind of got exposed because he went to go apply for another show and they were like, we know your age or something like that. I remember it was from the clip. They were like, oh, I know you're 19 or something like that, even though he wasn't even 19.
Oh yes.
Am I crazy?
The casting director for Hannah Montana was like, hey,
Yes.
I know you told me on a previous show you were 19, but for this one, can you say you're 18? And he was like, oh shit, I've been lying about my age so many times. Yeah, like no problem.
That like would not fly today just because simply like how do they not check? Not like that won't fly, but
That's
I'm like,
what I'm saying. How do they not? You need like a birth certificate to apply to like get a W-2 if you're like
Shoot.
working.
Shoot. I know, and also it's like when I've like an undisclosed like little like promo thing I did like back, like I was not 18 yet, and it wasn't like an 18 or older kind of thing, but it was like we couldn't be in like this car with like certain people because it was just like a driving law thing.
Yeah.
They told us straight up. They were like, baby, just how old are you? I was like, this age, and they were like, baby, you're 18. I said, perfect, thank you so much.
Oh, okay.
Because we
perfect.
just couldn't like be like, it was like
Yeah.
a danger or something
You're like,
like
you
that.
can't be like in a moving vehicle with X amount of
can't.
people under crazy stuff.
But yeah, girl, they
But,
do it. But I'm like at a full-blown TV production.
Yeah, a full,
Work.
like, but not even just like, oh, a couple episodes or a season, and they didn't figure it out until 8 episodes in.
I know, like
And
what do
I
you do
think
at that
that's
point?
like months and months and months of filming.
No, fully. Like, what do you even do at that point? I think it's like not like, because do you think he would have gotten the job if he had
No.
auditioned as 28?
I don't think
either.
so.
I don't think so either.
No way. So I think it was so worth it.
He was, and he like, I'm just so gagged. I really need to figure out what that guy's skincare routine was. Like,
I
what
know.
was he eating? Like,
We need to call, you know what? I'm gonna call him.
thank you so much.
We'll call him up.
We need to get the research desk on it immediately.
All right. If you're a desk, if you're listening, if you're watching, can you Google Jason Earl skincare routine? Thanks, guys.
Alexa, please. Thank you so much.
Fabulous. Well, Aiden, thank you
Always
so
a
much.
pleasure.
I'll be here probably doing a face mask if you need me.
Oh,
I'm gonna start lying about my age, saying I'm older. That way people are like, wow, you look really good. I'm 32. People are gonna be like, wow, you look amazing for 32. Unless I actually look 32 and I have no perception of self. I am not as well educated as you are in the influencer space, the
Okay.
red pill podcaster kind of vibes.
Whoa, you're throwing me into interesting spots right now.
Yeah, but I
Okay,
know you
sure.
keep up to date because there are lots of interesting stories that come out of there. HS Tiki Taki.
Oh, your boy.
Ridiculous name also,
It is
by the
pretty
way.
unhinged name, yeah.
Yeah, it's not great.
We can
He
just call him
is-
HS. Let's just.
He's a he's a Manosphere influencer. What can you explain what that means?
Okay, yeah, a little bit. So there was this Netflix documentary with Louis Theroux that came out recently called Inside the Manosphere. Did you check it out? Are you familiar?
No, I really only support women.
Okay, and we're all supporting women here, power to women. This was a Netflix doc that came out where it explored these manosphere, as they call it, or like red pill communities, and there's these influencers like Sneeko and HS Tiki Taki, who you just mentioned, and a couple other guys that are like basically like Andrew Tate adjacent kind of people that sort of do like scammy type things where they like get people to like buy into their communities to they're gonna help them make money and like get girls, and so they people pay them and they get subscriptions, and these guys make a lot of money basically just being like sort of bad influences to young men. Yeah.
Well, he was on the Piers Morgan show, and Piers walked off of his own show?
Yeah.
Let's end this.
Cooked.
You know what? I'm not doing this. Sorry, guys. It's pointless.
Yeah, Piers.
How did that happen?
He came in hot on the Piers Morgan show. Yeah, Piers Morgan was having like these Manosphere type people on, and he had HS on, and they started talking some smack to each other. Started getting escalated. He kept calling out Piers for being in the Epstein files. And
that is an unvalidated claim, by the way.
Unvalidated claim, sure.
That is not.
There's one photo with Piers and Ghislaine Maxwell. So like basically every time one of these people come on his show, they just continuously bring up this photo where he met her at something. I don't know the story.
I would like to make it clear that the things that HS is saying on the show, these are all unvalidated claims that he is just spitting out.
Okay, I'm glad you researched it.
Thank you.
The thing that I looked into was what he did with Piers, which was he brought up a picture of his wife, of Piers' wife, from Piers' wife's Instagram. I did some digging. This photo that he brought up is actually still there. It's still on her Instagram. It's from 2022. And she's just laying by a sign that says, "Wanted pool boys, no experience needed," and then the caption says, "Applications are now open." So he's just trying
That's cheeky.
He's trying to be cheeky. He's trying to embarrass Piers and basically say, well, you're not a real man because look, here's your wife posting stuff on Instagram talking about wanting a pool boy. So once he pulls the pool boy card, Piers is like done with it. He's over it, and he kills the interview. And actually, HS says that there was that he had booked the other Manosphere people for after that, and then Piers was just like, I'm done with the Manosphere for today, and just ended his whole show. Like had segments lined up for after HS, and was just done.
Honestly, I'm Team Piers in this. I don't know why you would give these Manosphere influencers another platform to begin with.
Well, that sounds like you're not Team Piers then, because you just said you're Team Piers.
No, I'm saying I commend him for ending the interview and realizing we can't be doing this anymore.
Okay, well, but you don't condemn him for bringing these people on? Because he had a whole lineup. His whole show was the Manosphere Hour that day. That was what he wanted to do.
I'm interested in the Manosphere. I think it's a wildly ridiculous niche content that clearly produces a ton of money, and I think the psychology behind why men and other people are watching this and believing it and buying into it is incredibly interesting. So I feel similarly that like I would book an interview with one of these people out of pure curiosity, but then to witness the disrespect, the ridiculousness, the testosterone fueled I'm better than you kind of poking fun at somebody who's trying to understand you, I commend Piers for ending that.
It's not that simple. Piers was going after him as well. So it's not like he just brought this guy on and then this guy was like, here's your wife. They started talking smack to each other, and then it sort of escalated and it boiled up to that point. But Piers was certainly very aggressive as well and hurling insults, and he got dragged into the into like the childish gameplay. It's like, you know, when like a little kid is like being immature and then they start hurling insults, and then before you know it, you're acting like a little kid too, kind of thing. Like
I babysit two little boys at home, so I know that all too well.
So that's sort of what happened with Piers. He started acting like sort of childish as well.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, I know it's Women's History Month, but I just want you to know men's mental health matters.
Yeah.
And men, you are great without red pill influencers telling you what to do.
You don't need Andrew Tate in your life.
You don't need Andrew Tate.
To the top.
You can be whoever you want, and I will support you.
Okay. Do you have any particular Manosphere influencers that you are
A fan of?
well, I wouldn't say a fan of, but that you follow?
I have to be probably the worst person that you would ever ask that question to.
Uh-huh.
I don't watch any Manosphere influencers, and I probably never will.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Thanks.
So you
What
passed
about
the
you?
test.
Who's your favorite? Where do you get all your
I
routines from?
wouldn't say my favorite, but the most viral, like, adjacent person right now that's like all over my timeline is Clavicular, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Clavicular, I think, is the most well-known one, which is really scary.
He's like the most viral current one right now.
And he's like targeting like teenagers, which is really frightening. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Chris, go looks Max in the corner over there.
I could use your help to looks Max. If you could help me ascend later.
Yeah, I have mastic gum for you to chew to increase your, what is this? Your mandibular, so you could get a sharper jaw.
Is that a real thing? People just chew gum a lot to get a sharper jaw?
Your maxilla.
That doesn't seem like it would work.
No, mastic gum, it like comes from a tree. It's like incredibly difficult to chew.
Special gum, tree gum.
Yeah, sorry, my medical consultant over here is telling me it's the maxilla.
Okay.
It builds up the jaw.
If you can send me the link for the tree gum. I have.
Yeah.
Branson back there has been asking for that for a while, so I'll hook him up.
Branson's looks maxing. He has the best hair in the office.
He does.
Branson, you have the best hair.
Can deny it.
Well, we can't hear you, but we're sure you're saying something witty.
Yeah, he's being super witty.
Thanks, boys. We'll catch
Thank
up with you later. I have been all over TikTok. I doom scroll probably 3 or 4 hours a night after I get home. No big deal. These are light numbers for me. Molly Long is like the it girl right now on TikTok. You probably have never seen her face, but you have definitely seen her dances. The pop music trend, My Boyfriend's Back. She just did Double Dutch Bus. She has all of these incredible competitions. She has a studio, Project 21, and this studio has gone absolutely viral all over the internet for the insane performances. They're incredibly talented group of dancers. The choreography is amazing, and I am so excited to sit down and talk to Molly a little bit about what makes this choreography so special. And I am so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So not to talk about myself here for a second, but I grew up in competition dance and got a degree in dance from the University of Georgia, and I have just so many questions for you about the competition dance world.
Yeah.
I'm so curious how you feel about, being a choreographer for stage and, taking these pieces to competitions and having them be on stage and then seeing people resonate with them so heavily that they are taking pieces of your choreography and making them into TikTok dances. I'm just so curious about what that is like for you.
It's pretty surreal. I never expected it. I'm obviously super honored. But yeah, I think I'm just more grateful than anything because I obviously, I grew up in competitive dance too. My mom owned a dance studio. It was very much dance in my whole family. And so my goal is always competition dance, and to see it become kind of grow beyond that is just, I can't even fathom it. I'm very grateful.
It's so incredible. It's like I hang out with my friends. We're like getting ready to go out, and everyone's like, "Oh, quick, let's do Double Dutch Bus." I'm like, do you guys even you guys ever been to a dance competition? It's like people who have never been exposed to dance before are now like a part of the art form.
Yeah, I think that, when pop music went viral last year, that was like the most kind of flattering part of it, and the part that made it feel way more special is that it was moving beyond the dance world. And just, getting the whole world to dance, that's just such an honor. And so, yeah, people who have no experience in dance, no interest, seeing them kind of be like, I want to try that and gravitate towards it. It's so cool. It's like the ultimate honor for sure.
That's so fun. Do you feel like now that since you've gotten so many dances and pieces to go viral online, do you feel like you now choreograph with the intent of this little part will be big on TikTok?
No, I try not to. I always try to tell the girls too, because the girls in pop music are the same girls in Double Dutch. So I always try to be it's super cool that it's being well received, but the art form of dance is really what I want the focus to be about. And you know, we can't change if people like it or not. You know, last year I didn't like pop music. Like it was not my
Really?
favorite dance. Yeah. Like of all the dances I've created in like the last 16, 17 years, like pop music is not my favorite. And so, and that was the one that went viral. So I never try to predict, like people around me and in my circle try to. But I think, you know, I think maybe Double Dutch is being well received because pop music came before it. Like Double Dutch is running because pop music walked, or whatever the
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
is. Yeah, something like that.
That's so funny. So your choreography is extremely artful. Do you feel like there are a lot that like competition dance has gotten super like trick oriented, and kind of how do you choreograph so um so beautifully without kind of overloading with backflips and stunts and kind of stuff like that?
Yeah. I feel like when I do read the comments, like that's kind of what people appreciate, I guess, about my choreography is that it's not filled with tricks, you know, acro or turns or anything. You know, that's stuff we do work on in the classroom and it's super important. But I always just feel like in groups, it kind of like breaks up the flow of a group for me. And it doesn't really add anything that I feel like the group is missing. I personally don't feel like in terms of my choreography, it works for like a lot of other people, but in terms of my choreography, I like to focus on musicality and quality of movement and textures and punctuation. And I just don't think that tricks lend itself to that. And you know, I do solos with all the girls, and in solos it's kind of different than groups. I definitely add way more tricks specific to the girls. Also, sorry, my cat is
Wait,
here if you see a tail.
please introduce this distinguished little lady or gentleman.
This is Penelope, and
Hey,
she's obsessed
Penelope.
with, yeah. She's
I'm
always on
obsessed.
all of my Zooms, and yeah, she's the best. But she'll just be here in my lap. So if you
She's the
see a tail,
greatest co-star ever. I'm obsessed. Penelope, welcome to TMZ. Do
yeah,
you
she's happy.
well, we're so happy to have her. I wish I had like a little can of tuna I could send through the phone.
Well, she would appreciate. She's always hungry. Like no matter how much I feed her, always hungry. I'm like, okay, girl.
Relatable queen.
Yeah.
Do you, if you had to choreograph outside of competition dance, whether it be like a Broadway musical, a celebrity on tour, an artist, a singer, what is like your dream collab? Is there anything you're working on you want to tease, or what can we know?
Yeah, I actually, well, I've been working with this artist, Leve, and she's a jazz
Yeah,
musician.
yeah.
And she just won her second Grammy. And I've been working with her since 2023. That's when I did her first music video. And this past fall in 2025, I choreographed her world tour.
Wow.
And it was, yeah, oh my gosh, like totally a dream come true. And they just finished the Europe leg, and we're getting ready for the Asia leg. And I get to help her with Coachella in a few weeks.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah, I'm just like really enjoying all of that right now. So that's definitely like a dream realized and a dream come true. But I definitely think like I feel my heart like pulling towards Broadway lately.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I think would be like the next on my list is Broadway.
What's your like dream musical you like would love to choreograph for?
I mean, I really just I'm really inspired by any musical, like all
So
of the
fair.
vocals, all of like the whole like soundtrack, all of the music. But probably just like the dancer in me, like Chicago.
I was gonna guess Chicago. It's just so iconic.
Yeah.
I feel like
And
your
just
twist on that would be
they're
so
like
fun.
so strong, and they're like angsty, and you know, the solo tango of it all. So
Oh,
right now
yeah.
I would probably say Chicago.
Great answer. What do you think is like the biggest misconception that people have about competitive dance when they're only seeing kind of like pieces of routines on TikTok or Instagram and it's like so glamorous? What do you wish people on the internet would know about competition dance?
Well, I feel like I have an answer in two parts. I feel like growing up in my generation, I feel like competitive dance was a little frowned upon, especially if you were a competitive dancer trying to break into like the industry of like commercial dance.
For sure.
And I really just think like, I think it's the competition aspect that gives competition a bad reputation, but I just truly think like competition dance is so great. It's such a learning experience for dancers. Like it, you know, it requires you to be your best self. It requires you to like really hone in on a dance piece. And, you know, if you're dancing behind Leve, you're going to be doing that same dance every single night for like 3 months in a row, 4 months, 5 months, however long the tour is stretching for. And so, you know, like not getting, you know, stale in that dance, finding ways to like become better every night, finding ways to, you know, appeal to the crowd a little bit more. I just think there's so many great lessons that prepare you. And whether that's like commercial dance or like collegiate dance, I just think it's so great. But I think now, misconceptions, I don't really know. I guess I don't really hear the misconceptions, but if people think it's glamorous, there's mostly not glamour. I really only pay attention to my kids because I'm just like so engulfed in my world in 2021. But you know, these kids like are working, they're training every single day, they're working so hard, you know. I'm really tough. I'm all about like productivity and making sure I'm not wasting my time in the studio or their time in the studio. So like I don't like to have days where we just sit around and do nothing. Like I'm always making sure that every day we're getting better than we were yesterday. And you know, that's hard, and that sometimes can be like not enjoyable, especially for teenagers when they have so much going on. They have school, they have like, you know, their own issues to deal with. But you know, I really just think like my kids are the best, and they're like such awesome kids. And so yeah, I think, and I really love, I guess a misconception I hear like from other studio owners and teachers that they just like they have a hard time with their teenagers. And I love teenagers. I think they're like the best kids ever, and they're so cool. And yeah, they're just the most like real, awesome, hardest working teenagers ever.
Wow.
So,
that's impressive. I remember being a teenager and we would purposefully ask our ballet teacher questions to distract her. And so we could sit on the floor and learn about nothing. I was like, I don't want to put on pink tights. I'm not putting my hair in the bun. We're just going to sit and gossip. So to have such motivated dancers is incredible. And I know so many of your dancers have gone on to do incredible things. Like this is not pop music and Double Dutch Bus are amazing, of course, but My Boyfriend's Back. Like this is not the first time that your choreography has been in the limelight.
I know, My Boyfriend's Back. That was my first dance I ever choreographed.
That was the first dance you ever choreographed?
Yeah, I was 16. And yeah, those girls, they're so amazing. I still keep in touch with them. Obviously, Autumn is like touring behind Beyonce and so many other people. And then Malia, who is the pink girl, she's like a biology professor right now. She's like 25. So yeah, they're all just like such amazing, like well-established adults. And yeah, so I'm so proud of them. Whether like my past and present dancers go into the dance world when they graduate or they do something else, like they're all so amazing and such great people, and I'm just so proud of them.
Wow. Is there any like piece of advice you give all your dancers before they go on stage, like something you tell, a mantra, a motto, something you always remind them like right before they take that stage?
I think I always just try to stress that like our goal for each time we're out on stage is to be better than our last. I think that's like the only thing I really ask for the kids. Obviously, like, you know, I give them inspirational, motivational speeches, like, you know, no one else's opinion matters more than your own. And, you know, how you feel about the performance is more important than any award. But, you know, at the end of the day, I'm preparing them for a professional career, and you know that comes with job requirements of remembering X, Y, and Z. And so yeah, I try to find a good balance, but mostly just making sure they're better than the performance before.
That is incredible. And last question for you here. When you're creating a routine, what comes first? The music, the story, the costume, the movement? I want to know just a bit about that process because it's crazy to watch the magic on stage and you're like, how does this even start to begin to happen?
I will definitely say music first. You know, depending on what season I'm in of P21, I always create a little, this is season 11, so the season 11 playlist, and I've already started my season 12 playlist for next year, and I'm constantly just like, anything I hear, I'm like, add it to the list, and then when it's time to come around to pick songs from season 12, I will like revisit that playlist and listen to the songs a little bit more depth. And ever since I started choreographing, I would always say I'm like Raven Baxter from That's a Raven. Like I
Yes.
have visions of my choreography. So when I was younger, I used to do this way more, and I kind of like I'm kind of sad that I've lost my like teenage like innocence with this, but I would just like sit in my room with my iPod and I would just like listen to music. I'd close my eyes and I would just envision everything. And I just don't have as much time to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Which is, and even like music surf. Like I used to just like sit and like iTunes, just like surf, and one song would lead me to the next. And I just like don't have the time for that anymore, which makes me a little bit sad. But yeah, it all starts with music. And if I have a vision or if I can see something in my head, and normally what I see in my head is like my dancers on stage. And, you know, listening to a song that I relate to, I also have to have the conversation of, okay, is this like a combo song, or is this song in its entirety like strong enough to sustain an entire piece, like a 4-minute dance? You know, because some songs just have like a catchy little 45 seconds.
Yeah.
And then the rest is kind of boring. And I'm like, ugh, I don't know if I can make a really engaging dance with this. So I kind of have that conversation with myself. And then if I really do think I can like create it into like a full length piece, it'll make the next round. And then it's just kind of like experimenting in the studio with the kids. I think I used to come in with a little bit more choreo prep, but I'm pretty much on the spot nowadays. And
That's
I just
awesome.
like loop the music through GarageBand, and it literally just keeps looping. Like it'll be like 2 hours and the same like 30 seconds will be playing, and I'll just dance and the kids will follow me, and I'm like, okay, yeah, try that with this arm, and then we'll like do it. And it's like a really fun process. And when it's going well, stuff doesn't come naturally to me always, but when it does, it's just like so fun. And it's just like a little creative like groove session with me and the girls. And so that's how that, and then costumes are last. I historically have hated doing costumes. And the past couple years, our costumes have just been like really on point, which has filled me with great pressure to make each year better. Because like, I think it started last year. I like would see TikToks like, oh yeah, her choreography rocks, but can we talk about her costumes? And I'm like, oh no, please don't talk about my costumes, because now I have to make them even better. So this year was really stressful, and I feel like I really went over the top with costumes. I feel like they're like really amazing, and our costume woman is just incredible and like works magic and makes all of my visions come to life. So costumes are definitely last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? What's your favorite piece you've ever choreographed?
Honestly, it changes daily.
So fair.
You know, like You Don't Love Me, the Gold Dance.
Oh my God, I love that one.
Thank you. And Under Pressure, which is the same kids from Pop Music and Double Dutch. That one went kind of viral too.
Yeah.
But like after the season. But I really love my dance this year, Do Re Mi from Sound of Music.
Incredible.
That one's really just cute. And it like literally makes me cry because it's just so freaking adorable and the girls are so cute. So I think right now those ones.
Wow. Well, Molly, thank you so much for joining us. We will absolutely be on the lookout. We will be rehearsing our moves. I will be stretching my hamstrings after this. I'm feeling sore just talking to you. But this was so great, and I hope you guys have the best, most winningest season yet.
Thank you so much. That means so much to me.
Well, we have had a wild ride over here today, from looks maxing to dance maxing to incredibly horrifying drama out of the Taylor Frankie Paul situation, a little bit of Hannah Montana. You really get a little bit of everything today. Well, I'm so honored to be here chatting it up with you every day, and I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Happy Women's History Month to all who celebrate.